Let's take a closer look at Elliott Management's Paul Singer, one of the key players in the Salesforce, and why you should care about what Paul Singer has to say with Yahoo Finance's own Julie Hyman.
Yeah, I'm here to tell you why you should care about Paul Singer and Elliott Management in particular. Remember, there are 5 activists surrounding Salesforce. Elliott Management is one of them. So first of all, what's an activist investor? It's someone who takes a stake in a company and then pushes for changes that they think will result in upside to their investment. And there are various thresholds over which the SEC requires disclosure of these kinds of stakes. So who is Paul Singer specifically? He's the head of Elliott Management. He started the firm back in 1977 with $1.3 million only. Now the company manages about $56 billion in assets under management. He went to the University of Rochester and then Harvard Law School and studied psychology, among other things, which is something that some have attributed to, some has said is one of the reasons for his success as an investor. So what is he known for? Big, brash campaigns, big targets, big asks in many of these cases. So here are just a few examples. Samsung, he did push Samsung to split into 2. That was not one of his successful campaigns in terms of getting the company to do so, but resulted in a bunch of other changes, and the stock did go up. Arconic, remember Arconic? Arconic used to be part of Alcoa. First of all, he bought the stake in Alcoa, pushed it to spin off Arconic. It did that, and then pushed to oust the CEO, and there was a very contentious exchange between he and the CEO, and he also pushed to add nominees to the board. Cabela's one of the other, remember this outdoor store, he said that it should be purchased, and indeed it was eventually purchased by Bass Pro Shops. So those are just a few of the examples. But it's not just on the equity side that Elliott gets involved. It's on the debt side as well, including with some countries, right? Argentina, most notably. Here is the ship that Elliott Management temporarily seized as it was undergoing a 15-year battle with the government of Argentina over debt that he held. Many of the other debtors, by the way, took settlements that they agreed upon with the Argentine government, not Elliott Management and not Paul Singer, which is sort of emblematic and has become emblematic of the way that he does business. There's also been reporting on the sort of personal attacks that Elliott Management sometimes engages in against executives of companies. So these are all the reasons why investors sit up and take notice when Elliott gets involved. Another reason, according to Vincent and Elkins partner Patrick Gadsden, who we talked to earlier, he's somebody who has experience in activist shareholders. He said this about Paul Singer.
Elliott has a long track record of not being intimidated by anyone or anything, including sovereign nations, right? So when you are willing and able to sort of, shake the knees of Argentina, I think that you probably aren't that concerned or intimidated by Salesforce or Mark Benioff.
So what does Elliott want from Salesforce? Here are the few of the goals here. We told you earlier that Elliott said, we're happy with the progress that Salesforce is making, but that's not all. They want them to do more, including new board members. And remember, yesterday we reported that Elliott had nominated some new board members for the company. Sustainable leadership plan, as they said in their statement today. What does that mean? Succession for Mark Benioff, many of whom his top lieutenants have departed the company, who had been potential successors, and then continuing margin improvement. That's obviously something you just heard Benioff really emphasizing. It's something they did make progress on in the quarter. Investors, including Elliott, want much more. So, Brad, that hopefully explains a little bit why you should care that Elliott's involved here. But not only that, if you own shares in a company and Elliott gets involved, it lets you know that you should probably sit up and pay attention.
I do not own shares, but I indeed do care.